Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, hope you are having a great day. Today we have some new stories for you. Am I the idiot for telling my daughter that she hurt her dad's feelings? A few days ago, me and my husband went out to dinner with our daughters Anna and Mary, 24 and 18, Anna's husband Tom and his parents. My husband isn't a big fan of Tom, he thinks he shows off his wealth. Tom has a very high-paying job and his family is very well off too. Anna was carrying a really expensive Chanel bag, which she said Tom got her as a gift for her birthday recently. Things were going well, when my husband made a comment about how instead of buying expensive purses, Tom should have donated that money to charity. It wasn't a malicious comment, just a statement. Tom said that it was a birthday gift and he wanted to spoil her. My husband didn't say anything else and we moved on. At the end of the dinner when we were all leaving, my husband said, "Imagine having so much money and not using it for good." He said it jokingly and I laughed it off. Tom and his parents got defensive and said it's wrong of him to assume they don't do charity, and he shouldn't be making comments like that. Anna then said that it's none of our business and everyone left heated up. My husband was saying after we came back home that Anna had changed after getting married into such a pretentious family. He said that he was disappointed that I hadn't supported him when he was getting attacked by Anna and Tom, and as a husband, expects his wife to have his back. I agreed that I should have said something to Anna, so I called her later and said that she and her new family have hurt her dad's feelings, and he's a very generous man, so of course he expects her to be the same. Anna got mad and said that I'm an enabler. I told her that they turned a joke into a fight and she was insulting her own family to impress her husband's. Mary told me that both me and my husband were being unfair and rude to Anna and Tom, but I was just trying to make her see our side. Am I the idiot? Edited, a lot of comments are saying that we're insecure of our son-in-law's wealth. That's honestly laughable, because my husband has a very good job/income and so do I. There's nothing to be jealous of. Yeah, OP, you were kind of the idiot. Your husband offended your daughter and her husband and you didn't do anything either. Just because he's your husband doesn't mean you have to stand by him when he does something wrong, which he did. In the end, it's their money and they can spend it however they want. You and your husband owe your daughter and son-in-law an apology. You are the idiot. You assume they do not donate money to charity and enable your husband, who is very obviously jealous and insecure. They didn't turn a joke into a fight. Your husband disguised a fight as a joke, went in, got rebutted, and left but hurt, and now you are sympathetic he didn't get catered to. Go apologize to your daughter. She deserves it, having a nice evening ruined by her father's petty insecurities. She sees your side. Your side is wrong. OP's son-in-law, it was a special day for your daughter and I wanted to show her I love her in a way that makes sense to both of us. OP's husband, jealous, reverse Scrooge grumbling. Y'all don't owe other people every one of your luxuries in life just because you're financially stable and they aren't. You and your husband are the idiot and you should be ashamed for berating your daughter's husband for valuing your daughter. You are the idiot, in every comment you make, you want to say it's a joke, but your husband obviously had a problem with it and you do too. Anna's not a child, Tom doesn't need to spoil her. Who are you to dictate what a person does with their money? Who are you to say you can't get a $5,000 handbag and give $10,000 to charity? They let your husband's passive-aggressive comments, because that's what they were, not jokes, go the first time. But some people aren't satisfied until there's a problem. His parents didn't get defensive, they corrected your husband by stating that they are in fact charitable, which is none of your business, and then your husband got defensive. With that said, you're the biggest asshole because you had the audacity to call your daughter after the fact and pick another fight. Your instinct not to say anything at the time was likely because internally you assessed the situation and realized 1. Your husband was probably wrong and 2. Things didn't need to escalate. But because your rude and passive-aggressive husband's ego was bruised you went and started more crap. Also, and this is important to note, a person can be doing well financially and still have issues, be jealous of someone else's money and success. But the husband is such a generous man. He's always looking for someone else's money to donate. Sarcasm. You are the idiot. You and your husband are idiots. Conspicuous consumption is not great, but it is also none of your business. You have no actual idea about their finances, and they could very well be donating more than your husband earns. The only one fighting here is your jealous, insecure husband. Tell him to use his only asset, his mouth, for good. Start a ministry or a charitable organization, rather than viciously sniping at those more fortunate. You are the idiot, and so is your husband. A jealous, crab-in-a-bucket asshole. You both owe Anna and her husband a sincere apologies. Update: Am I the idiot for telling my daughter that she hurt her dad's feelings? I read through all the comments and took the time to reevaluate everything. A lot of the comments were saying how my husband felt inferior to Tom and his family. I will actually disagree to that and say he feels superior. I thought back and realized over the years he always thought he was superior to anyone, especially his own family, us. He was the greatest, he can do no wrong, and I was blinded and went along with this behavior. He'd start arguments with our girls for no reason, maybe they shared info about something they researched. He'd always have to jump in to say no, this is wrong, I did more research than you and I have the facts. It was always, look at me, I do this, I do that. He never liked Tom because he felt his family wasn't humble, even though they haven't done anything to suggest that, but he thought that because they didn't suck up to him. Me and him sat down and had a long, serious conversation about this. Of course he thought I was overreacting and defending Anna and Tom against him. I told him to apologize to Tom, he refused. I then said at the very least, he should apologize to Anna. He said he had done nothing to apologize for, especially to his own children. This went on for a couple of days. I suggested counseling. He said he didn't need counseling, but maybe I did because I don't understand how anything works. Bottom line, we've separated and are getting divorced. I've realized that I've had enough of this, acting as an enabler to someone with no desire to change, and the biggest thing, that I didn't support my daughters in order to support him. Both Anna and Mary have supported me in this. My ex-husband just said something about how we never appreciated him, and this is for the better, he deserves more. Good riddance, I say. Thanks everyone for your comments and really helping me see everything and realize I was justifying his behavior. I'm doing well and so are my daughters. I've personally apologized to Tom and his family from my end and they have been understanding. Looking forward to new beginnings. Okay, I didn't expect that. Things escalated pretty quickly. I really believed that OP's husband would recognize his mistake, but apparently, there was more going on. Unfortunately, narcissists are like that. It doesn't matter who they hurt. All that matters is they are right and that they are praised for it. I hope this is all for the better and that OP has all the support she needs right now. Wow. This is now how I thought it would turn out, but good luck, OP. I have the rest of your life is beautiful and I'm glad your daughters are supporting you. I just wanted to add this. My father was so much like your soon-to-be ex-husband and it genuinely was because he was that insecure. Not that this is your problem anymore. Yes, when I think about the excessively confident, always right, super self-centered people I know, I have the strong impression that it comes from hidden insecurity. Congrats on getting out of a bad situation, OP. Wow, from an enabler to divorce. While this was unexpected, I had to say good for you. You sat down with him and gave him an opportunity to apologize and get counseling. People with a superiority complex are worse to live with. They take away your confidence because they think they can do everything better than others. Damn. Good for you. I love seeing people learn and grow, and it's even better when we own up to our previous mistakes. I'm proud of you for your growth and your willingness to work towards being better. Good luck in the future. Are you enjoying the video so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to know when there's a new video. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for offending my ex's parents after they tried to get us back together? I am 38 female. I was in a relationship with Mark, 42 male, for 9 years. Mark was a widower with 2 kids when we met. His kids were not able to handle Mark moving on, so we discussed going slow and giving them room to accept it, and if not, when they were both out of the house we could proceed at a faster pace. I was fine with that because I never wanted to push. So we dated but didn't live together or anything. Mark did therapy with the kids and had them speak to individual therapists to try and help them deal with their grief, and to help them understand that he deserved to be happy. The kids were always very distant and cold toward me. I never pushed, but I did attempt to form a bond with them. But it always felt like I was being dismissed. Fast forward to both of them being out of the house, and they had expressed that they were uncomfortable with visiting the home if I were to move in, and that they would not be able to treat me like part of their family. Mark wanted us to give it a little more time and maybe go out to visit as a couple before things progressed. So a couple of months after that we went out, along with his parents, to see his kids and to spend time all together. They ignored me for the most part. The one time I wasn't ignored, someone mistook me for their mom, and the younger of the two kids snapped at me for not being quicker with my no in response. They attempted to take everyone out for dinner except for me. When the night came they claimed they could only get a table for 5, not 6, and that it was a family dinner so it should be me left out. It was after this I realized, despite Mark standing up for me, that I could not do it. I told him his kids would never be okay with me, and I had waited for 9 years and they were still treating me like some pushy intruder who didn't even deserve casual friendliness. He was devastated, his parents were upset, and on and off since our breakup they were in touch to check on how I was doing. They then tried to set me up on a date with Mark a few weeks ago. I told them they needed to put that to rest because it was not going to happen. That I was moving on with my life and they needed to let us all do the same because it was not healthy for us to be together. They said Mark and I love each other, and I said we did, but that I loved myself enough not to tie myself forever to a man who has kids who will never, ever come to terms with his moving on. That I had my dreams of a family and it was not something I would sacrifice or carry out with someone who has family who would treat them badly. They said I was unfairly blaming the kids and took offense to my not loving Mark enough to endure it. I felt bad because maybe I was too harsh. Am I the idiot? No, OP, you're not the idiot, and I don't think your ex-in-laws are either, maybe a bit naive in the sense that love triumphs all, but your ex's kids are definitely the idiots. You dated their father for 9 years. They left home and they still want to have a say in their father's loving life after their mother's death more than a decade ago? Unless there's some another motive, like you guys had an affair when their mom was alive. They're being the biggest idiots, and Mark is being a fool letting the kids manipulate him like that. So the ex-in-laws shouldn't be complaining to you, but to their grandchildren for ruining their son's life with their selfishness. And honestly, at this point, I hope their father returns the favor when they're dating someone. What a bunch of a-holes. Not the idiot. If they try to approach you again, just tell them that it's not their place and you're done discussing this topic. Mark was allowing his kids to get away with controlling the situation, and if you ever did have kids with him, his older children would treat them the same as you. Just avoid/block them and work on moving on with your life. Mark cultivated this situation. It's nice he put them in therapy and all, but they are adults now. It's time to grow up. It's crazy that they said not to blame the children too when it's explicitly and objectively their fault. They're old enough to know better. It's been long enough for them to adjust. OP has been exceptionally considerate and patient. It's their fault. I get sacrificing for your kids. I get them coming first. At a certain point though, they are still going to be a-holes. At a certain point, Mark needs to decide if he can even live his life properly and happily with his kids in his life. People often talk about cutting out toxic family from your life. That toxic family isn't always a parent or sibling. It can be your own kid. Bare minimum, Mark needs to make it clear to his kids that they are actively hurting his happiness. If they just don't give a shit about his happiness, then that's something he needs to take into account when deciding how to have them in his life. If they have moved out, they are not kids anymore, they are adults deciding, with purpose, to hurt another adult. Not the idiot. You are strong and wise, you've shown exceptional compassion towards others over 9 years. Show yourself the same compassion and embrace your dreams of fulfilling family life. It's nice that your ex's parents recognized your efforts over 9 years, but you weren't dating them. The well is dry here. Move on with strength and conviction. You're winning the future you have invested in, just with a new partner. Obvious issues aside. Why the F are the parents trying to get OP back with their son when the parents literally played a part in cutting OP out of family dinner? Like, even if a table only sat 5, which makes no sense. Most tables are even number seating, cause squares/rectangles/etc/even-sided shapes. I would ask for an extra chair to be brought over and everyone get a little snug. It's family. Sounds like everyone takes OP for granted. Not the idiot. Everyone else here is. 9 years was a long time to wait for them to come around. It was brave of you to leave the relationship. Wish you all the best. If you had stayed and had a kid, your kid would have been ostracized by his or her half-siblings. Not the idiot. The only thing I'm mad at OP about is wasting her time on this, because I would have left a long time ago. She has the patience of a saint. OP gives more information. They were 9 and 11 when I started dating Mark. So, you basically gave up the chance to have children by waiting 9 years and he couldn't stand up to his kids and make things right. I am so sorry. Hugs, better things await you. I am going to have a child through sperm donation. Not going to wait until it is really too late. Going to be harder, good luck. Yes, my age is going to make it somewhat harder, but it's better than never getting to be a mother. These are today's stories, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more stories. Until next time.